The world watched in astonishment as former U.S. President Donald Trump unveiled a controversial proposal for the United States to assume control of Gaza. This plan, announced in early February 2025, represented a stark departure from decades of U.S. policy in the Middle East. Trump's vision was to relocate Gaza's Palestinian residents and transform the region into a thriving hub, a Riviera of the Middle East. This proposal came in the wake of Israel's devastating military campaign against Hamas in Gaza, launched in response to the October 7, 2023 terrorist attacks. The region, already grappling with humanitarian challenges, was left in ruins. Trump presented his plan as a solution, a way to bring stability and prosperity to the troubled territory. The plan, as outlined by Trump, would involve the U.S. taking long-term ownership of Gaza. This would entail a massive undertaking, clearing debris, dismantling unexploded ordnance, and rebuilding infrastructure from the ground up. Trump envisioned a future Gaza teeming with economic activity, a shining example of American-led development. However, the proposal immediately sparked a firestorm of controversy. Critics questioned its legality, feasibility, and ethical implications. The plan's future hangs in the balance, its fate intertwined with the complex geopolitics of the Middle East. The Trump administration's stated goals for Gaza were ambitious. They aimed to create a stable and prosperous region, free from the grip of Hamas and the cycle of violence that has plagued it for decades. The administration argued that their plan offered the only viable path to achieving these goals, citing the failure of past diplomatic efforts. Underlying these stated goals were broader geopolitical calculations. By taking control of Gaza, the U.S. could potentially reshape the balance of power in the Middle East. It would establish a firm foothold in a strategically vital region, countering the influence of Iran and its allies. The plan also reflected a desire to reshape the Israeli-Palestinian conflict on more favorable terms for Israel. By relocating Palestinians from Gaza, the U.S. could potentially remove a major obstacle to a peace agreement. However, this approach ignored the Palestinians' right of return and their aspirations for an independent state. The Trump administration's vision for Gaza was a bold gamble, one that carried significant risks. It remained to be seen whether this vision could be translated into reality, given the immense challenges and the widespread opposition it faced both domestically and internationally. The international community reacted to Trump's proposal with a mixture of skepticism, apprehension, and outright condemnation. Palestinian leaders were particularly vocal in their opposition, denouncing the plan as a blatant violation of their rights. They viewed it as an attempt to erase their presence in Gaza and undermine their aspirations for statehood. Israel's response was more nuanced. While far-right factions welcomed the plan, seeing it as a validation of their own expansionist ambitions, others expressed reservations. Even Prime Minister Netanyahu, who had initially embraced Trump's vision, began to distance himself from the plan as the scale of international backlash became apparent. Arab nations, including key U.S. allies like Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Egypt, also expressed their disapproval. They feared that the plan would further destabilize the region, inflame anti-American sentiment, and complicate efforts to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The global response to Trump's proposal highlighted the complexities of the Middle East conflict. It underscored the deep divisions that exist between the parties involved and the challenges of finding a solution that could satisfy all sides. As of early 2025, the future of Trump's Gaza plan remains uncertain. The proposal has ignited a fierce debate, both within the United States and internationally, about the role of the U.S. in the Middle East and the ethics of such a radical intervention. Critics argue that the plan is not only unrealistic but also illegal. Forcibly relocating millions of Palestinians would violate international law and set a dangerous precedent. They also question the feasibility of transforming Gaza into a thriving economic hub, given the region's deep-seated problems and the potential for continued violence. Despite the widespread criticism, the Trump administration has shown no signs of abandoning its plan. They continue to engage in talks with Israel and other regional actors, exploring ways to advance their vision. The international community is watching closely, wary of the potential consequences should the U.S. decide to move forward with this controversial proposal. The fate of Gaza hangs in the balance, caught between Trump's ambitious vision and the harsh realities of a decades-long conflict. Only time will tell what the future holds for this troubled region and its people.